an entrepreneur. Yesterday I told you that on this mountain we're going to be differentiating between people who can do business and those who must remain as employees for their life. But I'm aware that every human being under my voice now can be an entrepreneur if you are ready to learn. So again, I will start tonight by saying ideas are useless unless used. And without business organizations, there will be coerce of ideas. Every single business you see today on the surface of the earth was someone's idea yesterday. Divine idea, therefore, is the greatest human capital for business. Divine ideas is the greatest human capital, not money. People came for counseling today, about 20 of them. I saw 19. They said the last person ran away. I said they should put her number 21 tomorrow. He or her, when she comes, I'll make sure she's the last person. Since he couldn't wait to get the blessing, tomorrow you will wait very well. Some of you have been going on a journey. Just one more step to enter your colorful destiny. The devil will tell you, go back. That's an example. Somebody left home, came for counseling, and stayed. Just a minute before I called the person. They said he's gone. All right. I said tomorrow, make the person to be the last person. He will learn to pay the price of waiting. There's a time you need to keep quiet and sit down to hear God. You are talking too much on the inside. Meanwhile, when they see you outside, they say, this man, this woman, he doesn't talk. But you are making so much noise inside. You are complaining how you don't have money, how you have not got a husband, how you don't know what to do now, you don't have a wife. I gave one woman one wisdom today, and she was all eyes, smiling, laughing before she left the room. She was almost crying when she came in, an old woman. You know what I told her? By wisdom God gave me. When I was to marry my wife, God told me, make sure the woman you are going to marry, teach her to love her father. Because if your wife does not love the father, when she finishes visiting the hatred on the father, she will bounce it back to you. Hello? So young girls in the house and women who are married, listen. Girls, never marry any man who hates his mother. Hello? Young women here, listen. If you are a woman, you are married, and you don't encourage your husband to love the mother, you are in trouble. If you are the one that always drive your mother-in-law, you don't want her to come to your house, it's dirty in the house, she's dirty. She was dirty before she gave birth to your husband. You didn't know. You are preparing danger for your home. Because when your husband finishes visiting the evil and the hatred on the mother, when he has nobody, he will pounce it back to you. Did you get something? That is wisdom. You can't get that in any book. That cannot be gotten in Harvard. So all young men here, don't marry any girl who does not honor and love her father. When she finishes hating the father, if she doesn't know who to turn to, she will turn back to you, the husband, and scatter the home. Is it balanced now? Clap for Jesus. Is that not wisdom? So when I married my wife, I didn't know the wife I was going to marry. But before I married her, I had prepared this in my heart. So I made sure from day one. My father-in-law said I lied to him, that I said I was an accountant, that I had NCE. And I said I'm an accountant. How can I be NCE holder and I say I'm an accountant? That he thought I was a chartered accountant. I said, Baba, is that your problem? I will be greater than chartered accountants in your lifetime. I actually read accounting, but it's NCE at a level. I said I didn't lie. And so I didn't know what was the situation with him and my wife, the daughter. I didn't know who I was going to marry when I had this understanding. I had not known my wife. But after I married my wife, I didn't care to know who the father was. I just started teaching her how to love the father. I never knew there was anything existing at all. It took me 1, 2, 3, 4 years to convince my wife that the way I always buy dress and go and give it to daddy, she will be almost wanting to resist me. Once I buy for my father, I buy for her father. So I was balancing the equation. I was getting to somewhere. I wanted her to love me. If I didn't do that, I'll be in trouble today. Because when my wife told me the story, it's not something you should hear. But that man, before my father-in-law translated in 2007, he was a Muslim. He became a pastor. He became a Christian under me before he died. I'm marrying the daughter of the royal family, Momo Inauchi. You know how strong they are in Islam. And so I made that man to believe my Christianity to a point where I converted him before he died. He calls me pastor, writes me and addressed me pastor. He told me, my son, you are not my son-in-law. You are better than the biological children I gave birth to. From today, you are my son. Whatever you can't tell your father, tell it to me. I will handle it. That is what love can procure for you. My wife dates the father with love. The man was, he said, what? So this was the girl that was going to take care of me. And he didn't allow me to send her to school, to love her. Please, these things, you don't pick them from everywhere. Wisdom is everywhere. You can pick it on the ground. You're not looking too closely. Who is an entrepreneur? The concept of an entrepreneur in this century can further be redefined from a business, managerial, or personal perspective. In almost all of the definitions of what we call entrepreneurship, there is agreement that whenever you talk of an entrepreneur or entrepreneurship, you are talking about a kind of behavior that includes one, initiative taking. Write what I'm saying down now, everybody. One, initiative taking. Two, the organization and reorganization of economic mechanism to turn resources to practical account or money, if you like, to turn situation to practical money in your hand. Three, you are talking about the acceptance of risk or failure of any venture. Did you get it? Did you get it? Okay, I come again one more time. Remember, I'm working on time here. Entrepreneurship agrees that you are talking of a kind of behavior that includes one, initiative taking, two, the organization and reorganization of economic mechanism that turn resources to personal accounts or money, and three, the acceptance of risk or failure. Anybody that accepts to be an entrepreneur is ready to be called a failure. It doesn't bother. If you know how many things I did that didn't work, but entrepreneurs never see failure. They never see that they couldn't do anything. They just see that it will not work in that way. And they just put it behind you. But you, when you fail once, you are down permanently. You can't get up again. The Bible says what? When the righteous man falleth how many times? 7 times. He shall do what again? So where did you learn your own emotion from that? The depression, once devil hit you with one wrong strategy, you are down permanently. You can't get up. Nobody will bring you up. You have to stand up on you and get up. Tell yourself, I must rise up. To an economist, an entrepreneur is someone who brings resources, labor, material, or other assets, combining them together to bring one, a change, or two, to bring innovation, or to bring a new order. But to a psychologist, the people they call entrepreneurs, they define them as people that have certain forces that drives them to attain something for accomplishment, or perhaps to escape the authority of others. People who do their own business, some of them didn't want to say yes to another man. That's why they went into business. That's why some fail. They don't want to take authority from other people. They want to be on their own. Everybody wants to be MD of one small shop. Instead of us to do covenant networking. If you are number 1,000, you are a billionaire. You want to be MD of one small shop that cannot bring 100,000 naira a year. Whereas if you agree for covenant network, in your 1,000 position, because of the size of the organization, you are still a billionaire. Which one is better? It's not to network, but why don't you work with yourselves? You don't agree now, because money is involved. Number 3, to one businessman, an entrepreneur is a threat. There are people who are very They want to catch. They want to take everything from everybody. It's too aggressive. He's a competitor. Whereas to another businessman, the same entrepreneur can be a source of supply, a consumer, or someone who creates wealth for others, as well as find better ways of utilizing resources to help reduce waste and produce jobs that others are eager to get. If I did not create the company God gave me now, all the people that are earning salary from there, they would not have had a place under me to earn salary. True or false? If I did not go and take the step of faith to start building the school God said he was going to build for my wife, today we have 29 staff, including 2 coppers. The former house I used to live that God built 10 years ago is now staff quarters. The principal of the school lives there with her husband. 2 staff lives there. 2 youth coppers live there. I'm not paying rent. It's my property. God had promoted us, so we have also promoted them. When the principal got to the house, she was sharing tears that she never thought 5 years from today they can ever live in such an apartment. You need to know how much we ask them to pay so that they will value something. It's a gift. Because someone agrees to take a step of faith. How much of my money is involved in that building, sir? Nothing.